Hi all, welcome back. Red Storm, Dark Blue Defection. This is scenario 3, Morning Glory. This is part 3. So I've just came straight back there. Probably got a little more time, not sure I'll get this another part finished or not, but we'll get started anyway. I've not looked back on any of this footage yet myself. So yeah, and nobody's had the chance to say anything yet. So we shall see how it goes. Right, sequence of play. Random event phase. We do have to do that this turn, so yeah, let's just get on that. This is turn 2, isn't it? Yeah, okay. We have rolled a low 3. Okay, let me just check if 3 is applicable to this scenario. Morning Glory, innit? Ignore. Yeah, it's not one of the ignored ones anyway. Natal comms failure. Alright. Doesn't look like it affects the bot at all then. No. That can't be good. Natal comms failure. Natal detection level shifts 1 column right, worse for remainder of scenario. If rolled again, failure clears and detection level shifts 1 column left. Oh, okay. So, think we'll remember that. So we're not a D anymore, we're going to be an E. Isn't it? Yeah. It's on the other side of this, can't it? Yeah, we're going to drop from a D to an E. Okay. Not so good. Just wonder if I will remember that. Hopefully I do. No, that's not good enough, Grant, because days could pass here. Yeah, I was hunting the wee counter out for the natal detect, which I wasn't really able to use because I've got the map folder over, I've nowhere to put it. But because the scenario setup card shows my detection level. But on the back of this, we have natal comms failure. So, as long as I put that somewhere that I'm going to see it, then I'll know that I'm on the E column, and if I happen to roll that again, I go back to the D column. I'm just kind of wondering where to put it, that I could maybe see it. Okay, I thought about putting it beside the dice, but maybe not. So, I'm not going to put it on the floor either, Grant. We'll try and just put it up here beside our cars, and hopefully that'll remind us. I can't really think of any better place to put it. Yeah, it's a shame I don't have the boxes with the turn and all that, but it was able to save me space, although, you know what? It might be that that's the table, that what's up that part of the map, won't it? My guess is it probably is up. So if I'd unfolded that bit of the map, I would have got it. But then I've got counter trays up there, that's all they are. You know, it's an excuse to put things on it because we don't need that bit of the map. So, right, okay, well, hopefully we'll remember. So that was a random event. Jamming phase is none of that. Detection phase. Okay, well, we need to remember we are in the E column now, not the D. So, well, let's see them and detect us. What have I done here? What have I got? Just click something on my camera, I think. Right, let's attempt Chevy, who's high altitude. Yeah, he's high at deck. Sorry, he's high at deck. He's high and rough, but that's not doing anything. It's the guys that are at deck. Yeah, so no modifiers for Chevy or Lion, but the bombers will still get their they'll still get their -4 actually for being at deck. And well, actually, is that a mountain? Rough. Ooh, yeah, it's still got a wee bit of it. You know what? That's bothering me a little bit. Is that right? Uh, yeah. Sorry, I was just looking at Zoom climbs there. I was just reading over it because we done that Zoom climb last time. It says, in addition, defending flights that commence standard air-air combat against a higher altitude enemy flight are considered to have Zoom climbed prior to the combat and receive a manoeuvre rating penalty. I didn't know that. Okay. Not sure I remember that one either. What to look at? Just terrain and the hex, I guess. I don't know why it's suddenly bothering you. I'm pretty sure you had settled on the fact that whatever was in the hex. Give me a sec. Yeah. 2.22 terrain features. A hex with no rough or mountain artwork is a land hex. A hex with any portion of rough or mountain artwork is considered a rough or mountain hex, respectively. If a hex has both rough and mountain artwork, it is considered a mountain hex. Okay. So, yeah, so they're going to get their modifiers. These are not. So we're rolling Chevy on the C column for the Warsaw Pact with no modifiers. Rolled 11, that's just short. 12 we needed. So that's good. So Chevy's still undetected. Lion, same. Although he's at low altitude, no modifiers for that. So, on the C again. Oh, he's got 12. Bang on. So Lion becomes detected. Which is a pity. However, I think they're still too far away for us to bother about. But, better if it's not detected than then. Because for it to undetect is... It's a wee bit trickier for that to happen. But, you know. Anyway. And then the two bombers, we'll check Cylon first. Now he's NATO flight at deck in a rough hex. Yeah, so he gets a -4. Oh, 19. Ooh, he's caught. 19 -4, so 15. So Cylon, if that's how that's pronounced, is detected, and then Lizard with a -4 again. Oh, big rolls. 16 -4 is 12. Yeah, both my bombers detected. That's not good. Okay. Well, they've got a chance at auto. Mind you, Lizard's definitely not going to be in rough when he's finished. Cylon will be, so I think they go auto undetected at deck in rough, don't they, or something. Anyway, right, Warsaw Pact flights. I think there's only one to check, isn't there? Yeah, the C flight. The rest are all detected. So the C flight is at high, no modifiers. But remember, we're on the E column, so we need a 14 instead of what we would normally have needed, a 13. So here we go. Nah, I rolled poorly. So a 5. So nothing doing there. So that's now. I suppose I should count them, but it looks like it's too many hexes. Oh no! Yeah, I was going to count the last time and then it clicked. I thought, no way, I can't do radar search. Yeah, I can't do radar search until these flights become real flights and we know what they are. So yeah, moving on. Okay, so into the movement phase. We roll for initiative. 1 to 6, it's NATO. It's a 5 again. So NATO again, I'm going to take the initiative. And we're going to draw a chit. And we're going to draw a 4 large, so sounds good. 2 small. Okay, so 2 flights we can kick off with. Well, I'm definitely going to get Lion, get the tornado in range to be able to do his thing. So we need to, well, we've worked out, we need to dash him again, because He's at low. Yeah, that's fine. So we put him at dash throttle, and at low he's going to get a speed of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, free 30-degree turn, then 5 into there. That sounds like Tracy's returned. Okay, so 5 into there, and that's us within 2 of both of them. That is in our forward arc. That is in our forward beam. It's in one of our beams anyway. So all is good. We are dashing. We are at low altitude still. And yeah, we'll be able to do that check. That's me spent my 5 movement points. We'll be able to do that. See if we can identify. Was it identify? This and this. Now we're not. Remember, this only has it's only firing into all the hexes round about. This fires into all the hexes round about. These only fire into their hex. Okay, so yeah, I think that's him done. So we have one more flight to move. I should really do this because I kind of need to go and pause now, but I should really do moving this flight before we go. Right, hang on. Okay, going to try and do this before I have to pause. So Chevy at high altitude is getting a speed of 7 if I dash him. Do I really? I don't know. I kind of feel like I maybe do want to get through there and get watch these hexes. Well, there's a gap. There's a gap through here, and they're going to come down this way. And they're moving pretty quick. So yeah, I think I will dash again. So at 7 speed. Now do you still? Yeah, you still get 3 turns up to. It's only once you hit 9 speed, I think that's when it goes all wrong. Card 1. Someone played card 1. I know that. There it's there. Yeah. Yeah, it's only when you get to 9 that the problems arise. You don't get any free turns. So 7. I kind of want to turn and go along here. So 1 free turn. Got 6 left. We're at high altitude. That's fine, I think. I don't know. Maybe I don't want it. Yeah, I think I do. I want to like engage them before they get down towards our bombers, don't I? So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So staying at high altitude, dashing. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go with that. Because, yeah, I want to turn through there. I want to keep out of that hex. So yeah, turn through there and then into there. And then I need to turn back. I need to come through here though. So yeah, I think I can do that. I think it's okay. I might be, yeah, it looks like I'm going a bit too quick, but I think I want to go up. I want to go up to them. That could be a mistake. I might be running it. But I mean, we only have one flight that can take them on, so. And they're going to be stuck together. These two, it's not that in the last scenario one was doing one flight path and one could have been doing the other flight path. They're both going to be in there somewhere. So, okay, right. I'm going to have to take a pause for now. Well, hang on. It's NATO's. It's not NATO's turn. It's Warsaw Pact turn. I'll put that there and. Yeah, well, it's their turn. I'll not draw the chit yet, just in case I get a 0 and then that confuses me. Okay, but I'll just pause this just now. We're only 15 minutes or so in. And I might get back to a bit later, but maybe not. We'll see. Okay, I'll be back when I'm back anyway. Cheers. Hi all. Right, back to continue. What is this? This is part 3, isn't it? I didn't get back last night, so the following night, don't have a lot of time, so not quite sure if we'll even complete this part or not, but we might. So I was on the Warsaw Pact turn, I hadn't drawn a chit, right, okay. 2 or 3 things, 2 or 3 comments. Well, actually, one mistake that I noticed, when I started off my flights, I said they were all at deck level. In actual fact, the Phantom and the Tornado both start at deck, at low altitude, not deck level. I just wanted to double check that I was right. When I rolled for detection, I looked at them and said, yeah, they're all at deck, and they got the -4, but fortunately the rolls were terrible, so it wouldn't have made any difference. I'll be in here, Grant. Yeah, they set up at low, yeah, and the bombers set up at deck, yeah. So I don't know, I'm staring right at it and I'm saying they're all at deck, and you can clearly see that they're both low altitude. Anyway, John Brown, couple of comments on, obviously he's only seen part 1, which was just my intro. Me talking about rally points, and I'm glad he's brought this up. I do remember reading this, but it does specify that it's to do with the airfields, all friendly open airfields. Yeah, and you've got to come across to. Have you not got to come across to here? Where does it talk about this 10 hexes part? It's in here somewhere. Let's see his comment. Yeah, so actually I'm just loading up my tablet to look at his comment, but I see it there. It is other rally points, 8.35. Again, it's a shame I can't bring, but it's maybe just as well it's taking me far longer putting all open the rule book at the right bit, zooming the camera in and whatever. So, I mean, if you're playing this game, if you're watching this to this level, you've got the game, you're looking at the rule book, surely, you know. I mean, I would think so, or you're understanding what I'm talking about if you know the rules. 8.35 rally point on page 14. It says additionally, all friendly open airfields may be used as rally points, and that's the bit that I was like, okay, right. However, reading on, and I had read this bit before because I remember there's 10 hexes. Rally points must be at least 10 hexes from a side's target hexes, if any, and this may eliminate a friendly open airfield as a legal rally point. Was there any more information under airfields regarding that? So I'm not sure if I'm soaking all that in just now, but just getting John's comment up here. He says best keep reading the next sentence, and that's what I've just done, John. I've got a bad habit of that. Must admit, I've got a bad habit of reading part of a paragraph and then stopping. I mean, a paragraph's meant to have all sort of relevant information together, Grant. Like I say, English not my best subject, maths not my best subject. Not got many good subjects. Anyway, best keep reading the next sentence here about rally points needing to be at least 10 hexes from a target, just to keep that in your head along with the whole friendly airfield. For instance, at one point, Saint was adjacent to Bad Hersfeld, and I remember saying, yeah, while disordered, Saint could not have claimed that airfield as a rally point because it was less than 10 hexes from a target. From a target, John, from a target. From a side's target hexes. What's the target? Am I missing the obvious there? I must be. Rally points must be at least 10 hexes from a side's target hex. From a side's target hex. I suppose the SAMs were our target at the time. Is that what we're thinking there? So these are our targets in this scenario. So, I mean, we know that these 3 airfields are closed. Oh, and I'm going to get something from that as well that Mike has commented on. So would we need to be 10 hexes from this being a target? Maybe get down to here enough. I can only think it means that as a target, as something that we are targeted to. Yeah, target hex from a side's target hexes. And this may eliminate a friendly open airfield as a legal rally point. Anyway, I'm glad John brought that up, because it's not just a case of, oh yeah, we can just, well, these are closed. We know these are closed, but it doesn't look like these would be options if I've got to be 10 hexes away from these. So, yeah, anyway. His other point was the other post-combat step that's easy to miss is removing SAM acquisition markers. So that must be part of post-combat. I hadn't looked at it when he said it, so which is probably kind of silly. Post-combat, I should look at it just while he's talking about it. Remove any acquisition, BVR avoid, SAM avoid, anti-radar attacks, resume climb markers the flights had at the start of the combat. So, okay, so if you go into air-to-air combat and you're acquired by a SAM, you drop that acquisition, it falls off. So there's a plus to things. But yeah, easy to forget, as he says, looks like being the case. Okay, so yeah, thanks, John. Yeah, I've talked about these other things about the fuel. Well, I've not actually looked into how spending more fuel and recovering and how all that goes about, but we'll get to that down the line. It's just there's that much that you just, you don't want to. I don't want to overdo it, try and store too much, but yeah, I do need to kind of know these things. Right, I'm stalling here a little bit, just trying to open up. Mike, who's been just messaging me back and forth, watching the videos, must want to keep a quiet profile. But I hope you don't mind me speaking about the comment, Mike. I'm sure you don't. Because he's come up with 2 or 3 good ones that we've not actually spotted. Even caught John Brown out with one of the things. Can't remember what it was now. A couple of tips he suggested is using different colour markers for the waypoints. It's not a bad idea, that, Mike, but I don't know if it would. I mean, yeah, what he says is he takes a note of the route and puts different colour markers down. I mean, this one here, yeah, I mean, I'm going to get to here and I'm going to check again, because I'm probably going to initially think I'm going to here where I'm not. I'm going to here first, then there, then there. It's not too complex there. You can see where it might start being. In actual fact, here's another thought. While you said that, and I thought different colours, why not have, I've got these little dice, I've actually got blue ones as well. Yeah. I've got blue ones. I've got these wee mini dice. What did I get them for? Gloomhaven. Tracking the monsters. Rather than using, was it hit markers you put on them or something like that? Wee mini dice. So why not? I mean, obviously, okay, if I've got more than 6 waypoints, it's not going to work, but why not do that? So I think I might do that in the future, because these are actually smaller than the cubes as well, so they don't take up. So maybe when I go and find these blue, in fact, let's just do it. There we go. Right, so yeah, so there's a flight path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, obviously, I guess if you start going over 6 different waypoints, then. But to be honest, that last scenario, it had 2 different sort of flight paths, didn't it? I could have used the blue dice for one and the wee red dice for another one, and yeah. So, well, thanks for your tip, mate, but it did trigger that one for me, and I think that might work better for me. I get what you're saying if you have different colours and then you're taking a note of it, but that way I don't need to take a note. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so good. However, his next tip is what some of the rest of you might have known. Sorry about that weird noise. Right, hang on. Here we go. That is on the back of one of these front markers that I've been using. So Mike spotted that. I don't think he knew about it himself. He just came across it himself. So we will be using them for Fritzler and Fulda and Wildflecken. Now, while I'm looking for these a couple of other ones, because it's not just that it's got in the back. I don't think it's got that on the back of them all. So, what I had started thinking was, I was saying the front markers were like the wrong way. They point the wrong way. I'm not quite sure. Obviously, this is dark blue defection, so I'm not going to find another one. No. Right, I'm going to have to find. I've got the second one, so I can put folder closed. Right, I'm going to have to find that one of these will be in the back. But I started thinking, why not? Why could I not have? Because this just signifies where their side of the front is and our side of the front. Why couldn't I just have put these the right way up and done it that way? Well, in actual fact, it's in the hex there, so it does start. It means that from this hex. You know what? I'm just going to leave them, but it did seem like maybe it was a bit daft and I could have turned them around the other way. I think I would have maybe had to, if I'm turning them the other way, I would have had to put them in this hex though, wouldn't I? So that might have confused the issue. Okay, managed to find another one it was on the back of one of them. So, Wildflecken closed as well. However, like I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, that's within 10 of that. Anyway. I wonder if that's why they're marked closed. What about castle? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? No, it's within 10, so yeah, it's not that. It's not that then. Right, so anyway, so we've got here for close marker, so very good. And then he's also mentioned, now, before I read his post, I thought, I'm going to have to look into these CBU, the AT CBUs, because I started thinking about, I maybe need to be in the actual hex to drop these, because these are bombs, aren't they? And it's maybe common sense to a lot of you that that's the case. But his point was that look very carefully at the CBU AT bomb loads on the A10s. It looks like the designer has already doubled the values. He's with some question marks there, as in he's not sure. But I've not worked out what the bomb loads, what the numbers are here yet. But yes, I will definitely look into it. And he's just about to take his first move in this scenario as well. So good luck, Mike. And thanks for your tips again and your comments. More than welcome. Right, okay, let's get something done before I have to go. Okay, so we've activated 2 of our flights. And it was passed over at the Warsaw Pact, so that's why that's there like that. So let me draw a chit for them. See what's what. Okay, we get, it's a large 2. That's a small 1 though. So they're getting one flight. Yeah, I would have liked to. I've just putting part 2 up there just now. Yeah, part 2. I would have liked someday I've had a look over that, and just, I don't know, I just feel like I just worry about making mistakes and then moving on and whatever. Anyway, so right, so we've got to roll first, haven't we? We've got 2 diamonds, a spade, and the heart is still what do you call it? It's undetected. So let's roll on the bot flight movement phase order. So we've got a 6, and that is a spade. So it's the one at the back. Okay, so nothing to come off, no markers on it, so it's just going to follow its flight path. Same again, combat throttle, MiG-23, clean, not laden, right? He dropped to deck level, so unfortunately, yeah, his movement's only going to be 4. Yeah, I know I've done all the altitude. You know what I wanted to look at? Oh, you know what? Doesn't matter. I just wonder, I got the feeling that the flights all started not near a waypoint, the previous missions, scenarios. I need to get the things out to look. I could be wrong with that though, and maybe I didn't roll, maybe they were all round the first waypoint and I didn't roll for the altitude change. I'm not so sure it's a big deal. It makes it a bit more random, I think, doesn't it? I think that's why it's in there. It's an optional rule for it to change altitude, but I think it's quite good. It means they're all at different altitudes. Okay, so they've got 4 movement points, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's just going to move straight ahead, isn't he? Nothing really changing. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I think that just jumped over. Yeah, damn. Was that a medium? Ah, damn. I think it must have been at high. No, it must have been at high. I'm going to have to watch here now, because that's deck. So that's him at deck. I'm going to have that covered. I think so. Yeah, I think they were all at high, because did we not roll? Remember, we rolled 3 10s on the altitude thing, which was try and spend a point to climb another movement. Climb another altitude band. And they couldn't because they were at high. So I think that roll happened to all 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, well, this can only apply to this. It's just the markers are all quite close together, aren't they? Okay. Well, that's that, isn't it? Oh. So he's done his thing. Nothing more to do there. Right, well, it's back to us then. We've got 2. Well, we've just got both 2 bombers. Yeah, there's not... I think with the start of this scenario, obviously it's they've got to give a little bit of space to get to the area it's going to all happen, isn't it? So this is a kind of dull part where nothing really... Oh, that's a big 3. That's the 3 on both sides. Right, well, that's just going to get our both bombers done. So, yeah, well, you know what? We can quickly do that because they've got a speed of 2. No, you know what? I'm going to have a look at these bombs because I know we're not close yet, and obviously these need to be identified as well. However, I just want to know... I know I can be at deck or low altitude to drop them. I remember reading that part, but do I actually need to be in the hex to drop them? That's where I'm not that sure. Okay, so just try and put 2 and 2 together here. Here's the card, and obviously these are taken from the aircraft data chart. And I was a little confused because I'm looking here and seeing that it's got ordnance at LGB 1, EOGM 2. That's what that is there, and I'm saying, well, where are the bombs? But there's a selection further along bombs, and I think that's how many points a bomb. I don't know, Or is that how many bombs? It is a 3 anyway. And you can see there's a bomb with a 3 there. And we've got a sight +1 as well. Right. So, not sure of that. And I'm wondering if Mike's meaning, you can see on the, I know it's a strange angle there, and that's as far as I can zoom in. Cylon and Lizard, that's our 2 A10As. You can see that every aircraft has an ordnance, and it's got 6 boxes in each aircraft under the ordnance ATCBU. So my guess is that each aircraft can drop. That's what I think Mike's saying. It's already been doubled up, so these can drop, and that's why on the card it's showing a 3, whereas it's been doubled up because these are AT CBUs. I think if they were the AP CBUs, they wouldn't have been doubled up. No, I think they get doubled up for certain targets. Yeah, AP CBU is doubled versus AAA, SAM, EWR, HQ, supply, and aircraft on the ground. Strength is half versus other targets, so their strength would be half versus other target. AT-CBU bomb strength is double versus AA, SAM, EWR, ARM, mech, artillery, and missile target. Strength is half versus other targets. Well, we're not targeting other targets, so we're getting doubled with that. Only level bombing profile attacks at low or deck altitude are allowed for AT-CBU. So I think that's what Mike was saying, that it's already been taken care of. We have 6 bomb points for each aircraft in each flight. So that's a total of 48 in total. 48 strength. I think that's that. I think that's how that works. So, but this is a bomb run. So let me just have a glance at this. Yeah, so I mean, we've done this before. So bomb run 17.2 on page 31. To attack the flight must first complete a bomb run. The flight starts its bomb run at an initial point, which can be any hex on the map. Announce the bomb run is starting and the target in the hex being attacked. Then move the flight from the IP directly towards the target hex without turning. When the flight reaches the target hex, or the hex from which the attack on the target hex is made, and after all AA SAM attacks have been resolved, the attack takes place. Now, yeah, well, actually, read on, Grant. The attack usually takes place within the target's hex, but some ordnance types permit attacks from one or more hexes away. Now, I think this is where we are not getting that. We had this before. We were able to set, our IP got set at 3 hexes away. Then we could attack at 2 or 1 hex away. Well, I don't think I've read any mention yet about our bombs, and I think we need to be over the actual target hex. So, and this part's going to be relevant that after all AA SAM attacks have been resolved, because remember they've got what is it? Organic small arms or whatever it is, AA fire in the hex. Yeah. And yeah, let me just confirm that. Yeah, it's a bit about cluster bombs. I'm just looking across at EOGM profile, which is the missiles that we used the last time. And like I say, IP 3 hexes away, target must be attacked from 1 or 2 hexes away. So that's mentioned in their profile here. In here, there's no talk about it. It's more over on another page. So you can see all CBUs are treated as normal bombs. However, the bomb strength of AP, right, that's what I've been reading. That's the AP bit. ATs, which is what we've got. So that's the last paragraph. AT CBU bomb strength is doubled versus armour and mech units, which is what we are targeting. So we get double the strength. Only level bombing profile attacks at low or deck altitude are allowed for AT CBU. Okay, that just triggered something. Level bombing profile. Here it's here. Page 32, 17.32, level bombing profile. Now I'm reading this with you. I hadn't read it yet. Visual bombing attack. IP is 1 hex from target. No climb or dive permitted during the attack. Apply the level bombing modifier. Exception rocket pod. attacks using level bombing profile. Apply a separate modifier listed on the air to ground attack table. Alright, it's something to do with rocket pods. So, IP is 1 hex from target. Okay, so I must have to set my IP 1 hex from the target. Then I move into the target hex and drop my bombs. I'm assuming that. It's not saying that the IP is 1 hex away and that's where we fire from. I think the IP would be set before that. So it does look like we're going to have to go over the top of them. And I suppose there's not enough of what we can do about that. So it's organic small arms fire that they give. Card 1 I think I'm looking for here. Just wanted to see how bad that was. Organic small arms. Yeah, so it's a small arms one. Oh. Well, small arms only fires at deck altitude. So there you go. See, after all that time me looking through this, I've come to something where I can go in at low altitude and they can't fire, the AAA will not fire at me, and I can still drop my bombs. So after all that was worthwhile looking at. So okay, I think that's the case, right? We've got to activate both our bombers. So now we're actually realising we need to go to low altitude, which is going to slow us down even more because I'm going to have to spend a point to climb. You know what though, I think it's worthwhile doing now. So I'm going to move Lizard Flight. He's got 2 movement points. His first movement point is going to climb up to low altitude. That's not going to make any difference later on. And his second movement point is just moving 1 hex ahead. I'm going to do exactly the same with Cylon. Climb up my low. Move on 1 hex. And that's them done. Well, actually, that's all. I should probably mark them. Okay, so that's them moved. So I think that makes sense, because we do actually need to land right on top of these now. Yeah, and also that's going to be that side of the front. Well, you know what? See this marker? Does it mean from? I'm not sure that is the other side of the front. I guess it must be, yeah. Where does it show you better on that map? Not really, no. My guess would be that you go from the centre of that hex to the centre of that hex, maybe to... That kind of looks like that is on the other side of the front. So again, another reason to be at low altitude, because, well, yeah, okay. Right, so we've moved all our flights. I'm gonna get this wrapped up. I didn't have much time, but I would like to have another part put together. So I'm travelling into work tomorrow with the train, so it'll give me something to watch, look over. Right, well, we don't need to draw on our chit. The only thing that might happen is here we're going to hit another altitude change, maybe. So diamond, and heart, isn't it? Right, well, I'll roll between the two. Heart's odd. Come on, out you come. It is the heart. It's going to move. He's at high. He's going to have a speed of 5. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. He's got 2 movement points left. He's at high altitude. And he's going to roll to see about his altitude, because he's reached the second waypoint. Yeah. There's 1 dice. Rolled a 5. Descend 1 altitude band is a free move. Okay. Nah, keep that handy the now, Grant. So he's dropping from high to medium as a free move. He's got 2 movement points left. He's only got 30-degree turn, isn't he? Yeah, so I actually wanted to also turn him 30 degrees there. And then 1, 2, and then free turn. Yeah. Okay, so he's at medium altitude. He's reached the second waypoint. He does finish with what's some of these markers here, have I not? Max turn, there we go. He did finish with a turn, so better mark him there. That's him moved. And then we've got our 2 diamonds now to finish, going in alphabetical order. So A is first, he's at high altitude. So 1, 2, 3, again, remember you're traveling at 5, you're going to have to turn first, Grant. So 1, 2, well, hang on, he's going to check altitude. He's got 3 movement points left. Roll the 3. No change, right. Okay, so he's got 3 movement points left. He was at, what is he at? He's at high, yeah, that's his marker there. I'm getting confused. So 1, well, that's out of the 3 left. 1 free turn, 2, and then 3 free turn. Finishing high, and well, he's actually got a max turn as well, isn't he? I don't think that's a big deal, but that keeps him directly off. I know that's, yeah. Sorry, I was trying to move him here. Where was he? Was he in there? 1. No, he couldn't have been. I was trying to move him down that. Ah, Grant. He was in there, wasn't he? He was in there. So 1, 2, free turn, 3, 4, free turn, 5. So he should be in here at high, without a max turn, I think. I'm pretty sure he was in there. 1, 2, free turn, checked altitude, nothing happened. 3, 4, free turn, 5. Yeah, he's there. And of course he's heading to waypoint 3 now. So he's heading directly down to it. Whereas that guy's he's at the side of that, which is fine. Right, and then flight B. So again, 5 movement points. Yeah, high altitude. So 1, 2, 3 free turn, but checking for altitude. He's got 2 movement points left. Roll for the altitude. Rolled a 9. Spend movement point to climb. I think he's at high already. Yeah. So he's at high already. He's staying. He's got 2 more movement points. 1. Right, I don't want to go. 1 free turn. Yeah, that's when we fall into the hex, isn't it? Yeah. And then 2. Finishes there. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, still not an awful lot happening there, but you can. Yeah, I think all these scenarios are going to start off that way, and then obviously the finish to that last scenario as well was maybe a little bit dull as well. I probably dragged it on a bit. Okay, right. Let's get this turn finished up then, because that's everybody moved. Right, hang on. Okay, so fuel phase, yeah. So we've got Chevy, who dashed. Chevy and Lion again, innit? Yeah. They're the ones that want to get into the action a bit quick. Well, Lion in particular, he wants to... Oh, he's going to be able to do his thing now, isn't he? I forgot about that. So that dash marker comes off as well. Right, okay, do you have time for this though? Right, yeah, let's push on. Fuel phase. Right, SAM location phase. There's no SAM location phase. However, we are within 2 of this and this. And this is in our forward arc, maybe. Well, you know what? They're in our beams anyway. So that's good enough. And during each SAM location phase, an undisordered fast fact flight may attempt to identify 2 Warsaw Pact units in the flight's forward or beam arcs. The attempt requires the flight to be within 2 hexes deck or low altitude. All good there. And have a line of sight to the unit. Yeah, there's no line of sight issues. No. Roll 1d10. Identification succeeds on a roll of 4 or more. Once the identified Warsaw Pact unit remains identified for the remainder of the scenario. Okay, let's check. Where are we? Right, let's check the mech unit first. So we're wanting 4 or more. A 9. Good. Right, so I'm just going to do what I said. I'm just going to flip this over. And I know that means something different. It means it's got organic, mobile A or something. But none of that's applicable in this. So I'm just going to use that wee white circle to say that's identified. Right, and then roll another one. A 4 or more. Hoping to get a result here. Oh, 4. Just good. Because I didn't want to have to try and double back or, you know, I'm wanting to get these both identified and then now be able to turn and go up. So good, we got them both. That's what we wanted. Right, good stuff. So that was SAM location phase. Track phase. All detected NATO flights at deck. So there's no NATO flights at deck. There's one of their flights at deck, but it's not adjacent to a mountain, so they do not automatically go undetected. Do we have any flights detected? Yeah, we do. So we need to roll on the... Now, what was it was changed? Yeah, we've got NATO comms failure, haven't we? So... let's let them roll first on there. They roll in the C column. The Warsaw Pact roll in the C to see if any of our guys become undetected. On the C, we've got 14. That's a spade. Oh, I think we've just got lucky there. Look at that. Cylon. He's a spade. He's becoming undetected. That was good. He's spotted as well, isn't he? Right, Grant, keep them right way. Right, and then over the other side, well, there's quite a few of theirs detected as well. I should get the blue cubes off. Yeah, so we can see what we're doing. See what's there. Right, so let's roll. Now we are got the comms failure, so we're not a D, we're an E. So we're on the E. That comes into here. Yeah, it does. So that's an 11 on the E. As a diamond in the curly brackets. We've got 2 diamonds. They're at high altitude though. I think they need to be, needed to be at low or at deck. Yeah, so they're not, that's fine. They're both at high. So not happening there. Okay. Track phase, SAM acquisition phase, none of that happening. Admin phase. Just remove some markers, but I don't think there's anything to remove. I think we're able to get out here. So that was good finish. We got the 2 First unit's identified. So now Wizard and Cylon can come in there and knock them out, hopefully. So no other markers there. Yeah, okay. So that's it. End of turn. Going to move on to turn 3. I'm going to have to dash away here because I've pushed time a wee bit further than I had. I think it was just to hope get another part done. So like I say, I can something to watch on the train tomorrow. Not while I'm driving, while I'm traveling on it. Okay, right. I'll be back. Yeah, I might get back to. I should get back tomorrow for another wee bit. So, I'll see you then. Okay. Cheers.